Hello, what is up guys? Welcome back to my new video. Today I'm talking about which PlayStation 3 racing games are still active online to this day. Um, there are a couple decent amount of games in this video. And also I want to mention that I both played the games on the weekend and on the weekday, and also want to mention that I live on the west coast of United States and the time may vary. So yeah, let's get started. So the first game we're looking at is Daytona USA. So whenever I play this on the weekend or on the weekday, I couldn't find any lobbies for some reason. Now I'm not sure if it's because it was not very popular at that time, or it was because it was exclusive to like some markets. But whenever I tried finding games, I couldn't find any, and I just could only get into empty lobbies. But yeah, this game is pretty much dead because probably it was released only in digital markets, and yeah, that could be why. So here we have Need for Speed Hot Pursuit on the PS3. To be honest, I wouldn't recommend this, at least on the PS3, if you're planning to play online. It's because since the game got delisted, you couldn't buy the online pass anymore, and since if you wanted to like redeem a code that I already had, you couldn't because those were expired already, if I'm correct. And even if you could play online, I bet there aren't that many people because the remastered came out on PS4, and those games have like way more players, and I couldn't say if this game is active because I haven't played it, and the only way you could play it if you really want in the PS3 is you have to make a new account, which is not really worth it since the trial's only 2 days. So here we have Need for Speed Most Wanted 2012. So this game is actually pretty active. So when I played it on the weekend, I found like 1 to 2 games, and when I played on the weekday, I actually couldn't find a game. But when I tried 3 times, I finally found a game, and I could find games, but a lot of the time when I tested on the weekday, I had to have the DLC, like the map, airport map, but I didn't have those, so that could be an issue. But besides that, you could find games pretty easily, but I'd suggest playing this on the weekend instead of the weekdays. But if you're wanting to play this, I'd say play it now because it has a decent amount of player base, and it's pretty casual, and it is still pretty active. So here we have Need for Speed Rivals. This was the last Need for Speed game that actually came out on the PS3, and whenever I searched games on the weekend, I found 2 to 4 games, and on the weekday I found only 2 games, and I'd say it's a pretty decent sized player base because it's like a late gen PS3 game, and since it is a online free mode type game, the only thing you can do with people is 1v1 them, like head to head with them, or just maybe invite them to your race, which is not fun because it's filled with bots in this online type world. But yeah, if you want to play it, go for it because the online's still pretty active. So in this segment, I just want to mention that we're looking at games that had the original servers shut down, but there are these private servers which they basically brought these games back online. And you might be wondering, well, how do I do that? It's pretty simple. I will leave a tutorial link how to connect and a few videos, and I made a tutorial how to connect to those servers. So yeah, just keep in mind about that if you don't know how to do it, or if you want to do it. But yeah, I recommend you doing it. So the game we're looking at that half these servers shut down, but brought back online was the original grid from 2008. So whenever I tried playing this online, I just couldn't find any people for some reason. It doesn't matter if it's on the weekend or on the weekday. Now it could be also why, because the game was recently revived like a year ago, if I'm correct. And you could host lobbies and stuff, which is cool. But also, if I want to mention that, if I'm correct, but the hosts, they usually host a lobby every week, which is cool if it exists. But I just note that this game is there at the moment. So another game we're looking at here is Motorstorm. It was revived back in 2021, and the weird thing is, this game, when it was revived, a lot of people are excited about it, but since after that, like, no one came back to it. And whenever I try playing online, like, really no one plays it. Not on the weekend or weekday could find any person, which does suck, because it's not just me who has these issues. A ton of people who try to play this game, they couldn't find anyone for some reason. Another thing I want to mention is that whenever you boot the multiplayer up, it usually has this issue where it says there'll be one of 250 people online, but whenever I join or click that server, and it says there are 0 people. So just keep in mind about that if you're wondering. But it sucks that this game is, as of currently, it's pretty much dead, and you could play it fine, like no errors in that stuff, which is a good thing, but it is pretty dead at the moment. So here we have Motorstorm Pacific Rift. This game has a pretty big issue when I play the multiplayer. So basically when I try search matches, it has this issue, like error with the server, which is really weird because it shouldn't be like that. And whenever I test it with like other games, Waterstorm or Wipeout HD, it works fine, but it's just this game that doesn't work like that. And you could host lobbies, like custom live, but like no one will join in the weekday or on the weekend. But yeah, this game's a big server problem, and I'd say this game is pretty much dead, at least at the moment as well. So the final game we're looking at here today is Wipeout HD. Now, this game was revived back in the same year Motorstorm did, back in 2021, and it sucks because whenever I try playing this online, like on the weekend or on the weekday, I couldn't find any lobbies, which does pretty suck because like you should be able to play online, but like no one plays this, so it is really weird. But you could still like but you could still like host lobbies and stuff, but no one will join you, which does suck. But I'd say this game is pretty dead. Same levels, something like Motorstorm or something like that. But I want to mention that the servers also work fine. Like not like Motorstorm Pacific Rift, but the servers do work, so that's a good thing. But it is pretty much dead. So there you have it. These are the results. I definitely expected more of the private server type games being more active, like Grid, but fortunately those are dead, at least right now. But the good thing is, the games that have official servers still work, and they have way more people than on a 360 or even PC, if I believe. But yeah, hopefully you found the video useful or at least interesting. But yeah, hopefully, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Let me know down below to think about the games. But yeah, thank you for watching, guys.